Okay everybody, we are in the garage today. Last time we had the boat out, it kind of had a weak stream of water coming out of the motor. So we're going to change out the water pump or the impeller. Picked up the Quicksilver kit. This kit's good for every motor that Mercury makes. Right here, it fits all Mercury's motors, inboards and outboards, 65 horse cylinder and above. A lot of these are for some different size motors or whatnot. You're not going to use all these gaskets. You might not use everything in the kit. We're going to change it out just the same way we take it apart. We're going to put it right back together the same way we take it apart. So anyways, the weather's been kind of crappy for a few days, and wanted to get a video out. This needed to be done. We got to get this done before the season really gets going good. It's a real easy project, so let's see how we do it. Okay, so this is the first step. I've got this cap here that pops out of this hole. There's a bolt in there. Down under here, we've got two bolts here. I've already loosened them up. There's a bolt back here. And then also there's two here. And they're all 5/8 except for this one, which is 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it off because there's one more that goes up underneath. But this corrosion plate is hiding another bolt that's right up under there. Okay, so let's get this bolt out. And already I'm seeing it dropping down. See the gap opening up here? Okay, so we're gonna get these two out of the way here. Got this one and this one. Okay, now we're gonna move up to these two. Now that I've got it to drop down, I can get them off all the way now. And I'm just gonna drop it straight out. All the way up in there is a shaft. Okay, so now it looks like I got 3 bolts here to undo, 4 bolts, and then this whole thing slides off. Let's do that. Let's see what we got. Okay, so this is what we got going on. We've got what looks to be like a couple 3/8 or maybe 10mm bolts here, nuts. There's 3 here, and then a screw here. A sleeve that goes in between the pump and the tube that feeds the motor. This is going to be your forward and reverse in here. And then on this side, here, get right up in there. I don't know if you can see that, but this tube right here, that's my linkage for my forward and reverse, neutral. Right up in here is my feed tube for the motor. That has to be reconnected, and it just slides over the top of that other tube. And that's about it. Exhaust comes out here and shoots out through the prop. But let's see what we can do. Let's change this off. There we go. Just needed a little help. There we go. Okay, so there's the housing, the upper, and it just slides right off. Okay. Here's the impeller itself. This is the part that wears out. Okay. And got a little keyway in it. Okay, spin that around. Okay, you get a new keyway when you get this kit too. See that? That locks this impeller in. Okay, so this that locks that impeller into the shaft. Okay. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to pull these gaskets up. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through and wipe everything up, kind of clean it up. Okay, so we got this thing pretty much cleaned up. I'm gonna tear this old silicone off of here. I'm gonna clean that up and we're gonna replace that, get rid of that. Okay, so now we're gonna put our part back in. You can't miss. There's pins and there's holes. I'm basically just putting it back together the way the old one came off, and you just match up the gaskets that you took off. And see these blue pins right here. You know, they're gonna line you up. Okay, this piece can, there's only one way it can go on there. I mean, I think if you're putting it on this way, you're doing it wrong. Then too, none of the holes are gonna line up. So you really can't get it wrong. Slip that metal piece on, and it fits down over the pins and as well. All the holes line up. Okay, last piece here, same deal. I'm just going to spray a little bit of soap on it. A little glass cleaner. And then basically, I've got to just kind of fold those fins so they're all going the right direction. Okay, so there we go. Got it going in the same direction. Okay, so we're just going to take a dab of this marine grease. Dab it on the keyway. And we're going to set that keyway on the shaft. And now we're going to slip our piece down over it. Okay, so I'm just going to try to line up my mark as I go down with my housing. Okay, everything looks good. There we go. Start with this screw. I'm not going to crank them down. I'm going to get them all started first. I'm going to put a little on this one. So that's just a screw. It just helps hold it together. The actual bolts are out here. So, I mean, that's just going to kind of hold it together. Okay, so we're going to 35 inch-pounds. And I don't know if you can hear that, but that's it right there. Okay, here's the other one. Okay, 35 inch-pounds. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of grease on that to help hold it in place. These splines right here need a little grease, so they'll slide back together real nice. And then these splines up top here, they also get a little And like I said, I'm not caking it on there. I'm just putting a little on there. Okay. So what we have to do here is we got to get this set of splines to go. The crankshaft splines got to go back up in. We got this clear tube. There's a tube up inside that has to slip into. And then we got splines here. And that's what puts it in neutral, forward, and reverse. And then this will just plug back in. Okay, so we're gonna run this bead of silicone across here. Replace that now. Want to have a couple of nuts and bolts ready to go. Pretty handy. Close to grab. So once we get it up in there, we want to get a bolt in it. Here's our linkage for our forward and reverse. Here's our tube that we need to mate up for the water pump. And then that drive shaft goes straight up in there all the way to the motor. Okay, just like that. You just kind of gotta work with it. All right, we finally got it back in there. Actually, I needed Garen's help to get it in there. You just got to get them splines lined up. The thing didn't want to go back together because we ended up having to line them splines up, and then you got to hit that tube just right, and then the other spline. So it is kind of a trick. It can be kind of a trick, but not a big deal. Just got to work with it, and you'll get it. So we're just going to bolt this back up now and torque it down. Right, so I'm putting like 50 pounds of torque on these things, is what I've found in my research. There we go. And one more on the back. There we go. These two here, I can't get anything but an open end wrench on. So they're just tight. They're good. This top one's good. I already did it up. So here we are down at the lake. We're gonna test run this thing. We're gonna burn it around the lake. We're gonna make sure that we've got a good steady stream. And then we're gonna probably fish around a little bit. One of the last things I'm gonna do is start it up without water going through it. Now if I wanted to test it out at my house or whatever, I always throw a boot over it, over the intake holes on the lower end, test run it there. But we're so close to the lake, we might as well just come down, test run it here, burn it around, maybe catch a few fish, or at least try to, and have some fun with it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Get your kids outdoors and have a great day.